Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Katie and today we're doing deep stretch yoga poses for runners. So this routine will focus on the lower body, opening up all those areas that get stiff and tight if you are a regular runner. And it's also a routine that you could do after your run if you have 30 minutes to really give yourself some TLC. So let's get started in child's pose. We are going to do a wide leg child's pose to open up the hips. So you'll keep your big toes together and take your knees wide apart. If you can't get your hips down to your heels, that's okay. You can use a cushion or a yoga block in underneath if you have one nearby. Then you can reach your hands towards the top of your mat, bringing your forehead onto the mat. And if your forehead doesn't come to the mat, you can stack your hands in underneath, or you can take another yoga block or cushion and rest your head on that. This is a deep stretch routine, so we're going to stay here for 2 minutes. Feel free to wiggle around and adjust until you find something that is sustainable for you to hold. And once you feel settled, start to bring some awareness to your body, feeling all those areas that are starting to stretch and open up. You might start to feed that tightness with your breath. Taking a nice deep breath in, long breath out. You might start to notice your mind is drifting away, and you might be engaged in some thoughts. And if that's happening, that's completely normal. But just try for your last few breaths here to just follow the journey of your breath into the body. And then each time it comes out, it's carrying out any tension that you might have picked up from running. Or just from life. When you're ready to come out of child's pose, press your hands into your mat. Use a breath in to pull yourself up. And from here we'll come into downward facing dog. So your fingers stay spread wide apart. Curl your toes onto your mat, lift your knees and drag your hips up and back. Release your head towards your mat. We'll start just by paddling your feet so you can stretch through the backs of your legs. You can also sway your hips from side to side to get a deeper stretch into your hips. Now you can start to drop your left heel down towards the mat. It might not make it to the mat, that's normal. With an inhale, reach your right foot up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog. Getting a really deep stretch into that left leg. Keep your right foot as high as you can get it. Keep pushing away from your hands, dropping your head towards your mat. Take a big breath in And with an exhale, we'll start to send that right foot forward, dropping it between your hands and coming into a low lunge. So the back knee is on the mat here. Now we're going to hang out in our low lunge for 2 minutes, opening up the hips, opening up this back quad and hip flexor too. Keep your front knee over your front ankle. Start to find your breath wherever it is. And once you feel settled, keep sending your breath into your hips, releasing any tightness. You can stay here in the slow lunge, or you can go a little bit deeper by walking your right foot to the outside of your right hand, having it on a 45-degree angle so your toes are pointing away from you. And then dropping our wrists back in underneath our shoulders. So here in lizard pose, you might be able to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. But remember to always just listen to the limitations of your body and don't push any deeper than your body wants to go. We're taking a few more breaths here in this pose. You might use it as an opportunity to get rid of any tension you might have accumulated, especially in your jaw and your facial muscles. Or maybe you can start to drop your hips to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. Now we'll start to transition into pigeon pose. So you can walk that right foot all the way over to the left side of your mat, dropping your right shin on the mat in front of you. Now there is a temptation here just to collapse in your hips and sit on the mat like so. Try not to do that. Try to keep your hips square and keep them lifted. If you need a little bit of support, you can put a cushion or yoga block in underneath this right hip. We're going to keep our front foot flexed and keep the top of the back foot pressed into the mat. Staying here for 2 minutes. You can stay up on your fingertips or you can bring your forearms down onto the mat to come into a sleeping pigeon. And this is a great pose just to close your eyes, bring your awareness inward, and let gravity and your breath do all of the work. With your next breath in, you can start to come back onto your fingertips if you're not already there. Now we're going to actually allow ourselves to sit over on this right hip, and you can bend your back knee so you can start to stretch through this back quad. So as always, be super mindful here. Only go as far as your body allows. And we'll just stay here for a few seconds, getting a nice deep stretch into our left quad. One more big breath in. On your exhale, you can release that left foot back down. We're going to stay sitting on our mat, but we're straightening out this right leg and bringing the left foot all the way across so it's beside your right hip, coming into a half shoelace pose. If your hips are really tight here, you can sit up on a cushion or a yoga block. So take some time, as always, just to wiggle around, adjust, find what works for you. You'll start to feel this stretch in your bottom calf and hamstring in particular. You're also opening up your hips. So you might be happy enough just to stay here sitting upright. But if you do want to go a little bit deeper, you can start to slowly walk your hands forward, dropping your nose towards your top knee. Spending 2 minutes here. So again, invite your awareness to turn inward. Find your breath and observe all of the sensations you feel as you get this deep stretch into your legs. Last few breaths here. Take the time to loosen your jaw, relax your shoulders. See how much more you can drop into your mat as you exhale. Now with an inhale, you can start to press yourself up away from your mat. Undo this left leg. You can shake both of your legs out. And then we're making our way all the way back into downward dog. So bring your feet behind you, hands come in front, and then drag your hips up and back. You might notice a difference within the two sides of your body, especially within your legs. So just take some time to release any accumulated tension. When you're ready, press your right heel towards your mat. Lift your left leg up for three-legged dog. Keep pushing away from your hands. Keep your left foot as high as you can get it. Breathe into that deep stretch in your bottom leg. Long breath in. And as we exhale, send the left foot forward this time, dropping your back knee to come into a low lunge. Staying here for 2 minutes in total. If you want to go a little bit deeper, walk that left foot to the outside of the left hand, keeping it on a 45-degree angle. And once you feel settled, just commit to this stillness and silence for the next 2 minutes, focusing on your breath and on the sensations of your body. When you're ready, start to transition into Pigeon Pose. Remember to keep your hips lifted or support yourself with something under your left hip this time. And if you want to go deeper here, come down onto your forearms. Staying here for 2 minutes. Now it's time to make your way back onto your fingertips. This time we're sitting over on the left hip and bending our back knee so we can stretch our right quad. Nice deep stretch here just for a few seconds. Really try to savor every moment of this stretch. And now we are coming into half shoelace by straightening out our left leg, bringing the right foot all the way across. Wiggling around and adjusting until you feel good here in this pose. And if you want to go deeper, you can start to walk your hands away from you, drop your head towards your knee. These moments of stillness and silence are especially challenging for your mind. You might start to notice that your mind is drifting away, leaving the yoga mat. As soon as you notice that's happening, find a sensation within your body that you can focus on. Keep following the breath in and out. You can use your next inhale to push yourself away from your mat. Bring both legs out long again and shake them off. You might rock your feet from side to side. And we'll do some windshield wipers. So you're bending your knees and keeping your feet hip width distance apart. Exhale to drop them both to one side. Inhale to pick them up. And exhale to drop to the other side. And we'll do a few more like this, moving to the pace of your own breath. You can pause the next time your knees are in center, and we'll make our way into a standing forward fold. So the feet stay on the mat. Hands can come in front and then slowly straighten up your legs. We want to keep a bend in the knees here, so be conscious not to lock your knees. Hands can hang low or they can hold opposite elbows, and then drop your head towards your knees. So no runner yoga practice would be complete without a standing forward fold. You're getting a deep stretch into your hamstrings, your back. These poses are also really nice to relax the body and calm the mind. You're sending all the blood down to your brain, which has a really positive effect on the body. Holding here for 2 minutes, find your breath, find the sensations that will keep you anchored here, and then I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Take your last few breaths here in this pose. And when you're ready, you can release your hands back towards the mat and slowly start to guide yourself back down into a seat. We'll sit here and let the blood flow back down through the body so you can find whatever way is most comfortable for you to sit. And once you're there, take some time to lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes here or just relax your gaze. Take a nice big breath in and a long breath out. Thank you so much for joining me for these deep yoga stretches for runners. I hope you enjoyed it. I have lots of yoga videos that focus on yoga for runners. If you want to check them out, they are all in this playlist. There's pre-run, post-run, and more rest day yoga practices just like this. So you can have a look through that to find and save your next practice for later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon for our next practice.